Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mustang Corral. Tonight, the Southwestern Mustangs host the New Oxford Colonials in a YAIAA Division I matchup. Home opener for the Mustangs. PA announcer Paul Zeroth going over the rules and regulations for the fans. About to start the starting lineups, and we'll be underway. I'm Nate Broadbeck, along with my trusted colleague, Matthew Lawhead.
Back at it, year two.
Looking forward to it. Southwestern comes in with a record of 1-1, a loss to Susquehannock, and a win over Kennerdale over the weekend. Home opener for the Mustangs. New Oxford coming in 2-0, tip-off tournament win this past weekend at Gettysburg High School. Right now they're recognizing two model Mustangs. These are two fourth graders. One.
First mini Mustang is from Mrs. Stout's class, Blake McMillian, the son of Rob and Amber. His favorite subject in school is math because it helps him become smarter. He enjoys traveling and participating in various sporting activities such as football, wrestling, and baseball. One day, Blake would like to become a professional race car driver. Second mini Mustang is McKenna Lutz from McKenna Lurs from Mrs. Glover's class. She is the daughter of Martin and Carrie. McKenna enjoys math because it is the subject that she is best in. She enjoys reading, playing with her friends, and soccer. In the future, McKenna would like to become a lawyer. Southwestern School District 4th grade students have the opportunity to be chosen as the mini Mustang of the game for sporting events throughout the year. Each mini Mustang is voted on by his or own peers. To be selected, students must also follow the STAR student rules and show excellent citizenship both in the school and in their community. Southwestern School District and the Varsity Club are very proud of Blake and McKenna for being recognized. Looks like we're on to the starting lineups. New Oxford starts a mixture of youth and experience. Coming off a third-place finish in Division I last year, they lost some of their big guns. John Wessel, about 15 points a game, who's their go-to guy at the end of the year, playing at Worcester Polytech Institute, and Derek Brown, who averaged about 10.5 points. They do return three starters, Abdul Jana, Jaron Rex, and Cameron Krebs.
Starting for the Mustangs, number 5, junior, Aaron Fry. A senior, one of the trifecta, number 25, Garrett Wilson, along with Alex and Connor Wilson.
We can't forget Camden. He's the fourth.
A sophomore, number 33, John Fenwick.
They have him listed at 6'7". I'm not sure about that. I'm thinking maybe 6'6.5", but splitting hairs.
At guard, number 2, a senior, Dante Ogden. And rounding out the starting lineup, number 23, the one, the only, Derek Huff. At this time, we'll pause for the national anthem. Here we go, Matt. Home opener for the Mustangs. First game in YAIAA play for both teams.
Lively atmosphere here. Nice little student section from New Oxford made the trek from New Oxford. And a nice little showing of whiteout by the students here at Southwestern.
Coach Wilcox going over his final instructions. The Mustangs start 3 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore.
I believe we'll see Shiloh Bivens at some point off the bench. Freshman. Played a lot in the JV game tonight. Hopefully the Mustangs get off to a better start than they did against Kennerdale. Rough first quarter. Dante Ogden kept them in the game with a little hot shooting.
Veteran official Dave Cancino about to tip it up. Here we go from the corral. Puff against Jenna. New Oxford controls.
Look for New Oxford to run good, solid offense. Hallmark of Sean Bear's coaching.
Shoot a lot of threes. New Oxford does.
And they'll run out, too. Fast breaks and threes. Hallmark of the last couple of seasons. New team, though, new season. Could be something new.
Early sloppy play gives the ball to the Mustangs. Fry brings it in the front court. Off to Wilson.
Running a little 4-round-1, it looks like.
Trying to focus on Fenwick in the middle there. He pops out for reversal.
Good backdoor cut by Wilson. That's not the first time we'll hear that tonight.
Huff with the offensive rebound. Looked like Garrett Wilson got fouled, but Huff cleans up the mess. 2-0 Mustangs.
Important that he didn't stop playing there. Played through what he thought was the foul. Nice backdoor cut. When you think of the Wilson family from Terre Haute, Indiana, that's what you get.
That's number 20, Jaron Rex, veteran player for the Colonials. 2-2. Ogden with the ball, gets them set. That's unusual for New Oxford. They like to shoot a lot of threes, so getting to the rim, not something Coach Wilcox probably expected.
A lot of pressure on the guards early. They're going to have to get Fenwick involved pretty quick. Interesting matchup there, putting Jenna on Fry. Heck of a height mismatch. But I think they're looking to get some runouts and steals. Uh-oh.
Jenna on the break. Misses the dunk. Gets his own rebound. Attacks again. Another turnover. New Oxford turnover. You just wonder if he was a little rattled by missing the dunk there.
Something tells me it's not the only chance he's going to get.
Fry gets him going again. Over to Ogden. Mustangs running pretty methodical offense there.
Patient, reversing the ball. They've got to get the ball to Fenwick. They got to get him involved, or Derek has to look to be aggressive as well.
They're using Fenwick for that pop-out reversal when they get in trouble.
6'7", you wouldn't think he's a three-point shooter, but he is a threat.
You would think they want to try to keep him inside, though. We got a little turnover action. New Oxford ball. Rex brings it into the front court. Rex back out. Groover misses the three.
Ooh, little bump, no call.
See a little contact early here.
They're letting them play, so they're setting the tone early. Hopefully it's something they stay consistent with throughout the game. Ogden had a great game against Kennerdale, kept him in the early, solid down the stretch. Tweaked his ankle a little bit at the end.
There's a touch for Fenwick. You see him double down. They know. Huff pressured, he recovers. Ogden attacks, floater.
Nice
It's
little
good.
take. Nice
Good.
little take. Attack the rim, patient offense, and they got the lead, 4-2.
Rex
Too easy.
with the left, just off the rim. Jenna rebound. Right hook is good. Four minutes left in the first. 4-4.
Took their time. They were patient the last possession and got a great shot.
Huff for three. Just off. Rebound Rex.
Look for this to go up. Nope. Another chip he missed.
That was Braden Long. Just into the game. Huff for three again. Off the rim. Rebound New Oxford.
Another offensive rebound. Another 2 easy points. They're doing a good job stopping the initial attack, and we can't give up offensive rebounds and easy baskets. Mustangs back on offense, reversing the ball, trying to get a touch for Fenwick. Being patient. Doesn't look like they want to rush through things. Over to Ogden. Looks to attack. A little out of control, but reverses the ball. All the way to Huff. I think methodical was a good word choice, Coach. Looks like they're not trying to rush it.
Fenwick look a turnaround jumper from the foul line. No good. Jenna rebounds and brings it up. Looks like he wants to attack. Kicks out. Reset. Another New Oxford turnover.
Self-inflicted wound.
At 3 or 4 now. Southwestern has to take advantage. Student section's getting into it a bit. Ogden attacks. He's fouled on the drive.
He's been the most aggressive to the 10 early in the game. Resulted in 2 points, and now a baseline inbounds play. Shiloh Bivens coming in.
Foul number 10, Cameron Krebs. First foul of the game for either team. Nearly 6 minutes into the game. Box set for the Mustangs. To Fenwick for a jumper. Short. Southwestern's getting some good shots, just missing.
That was a good read and a good shot by Fenwick. Just missed it.
That's number 11, Straw's ball off the rim. Unforced error. New Oxford retains possession.
And those are some of the things that just can't happen. You know? Got to stop again. Chance to get a defensive rebound right off her own foot. How many times do you see it? An easy little chippy then from an unforced error. Oh. Can they recover? Here we go. Down 4 with a minute and a half to go.
Ogden tries to hand off to Fenwick. Jenna gets a hand in. He attacks. He's fouled. Good foul. Smart foul. Bivens in the game. You mentioned, Coach. Freshman Shiloh Bivens, number 31.
This is one of those danger zone situations where it's a 4-point game with a minute and a half to go in the quarter. Can they stay patient and keep the game close? You don't want to self-destruct in the first quarter. Maybe get a defensive rebound here, come down and get a good shot, keep it close.
Ogden returns. Looks like Southwestern is going with a smaller lineup. Oh, I'm sorry. Corey Lee's in. Junior Corey Lee gets the ball off the rim.
And here we go. We need a good possession. Looks like they're going for round one. Corey Lee inside. Big body. Post player. Will they get a touch?
Bivens handles over to Huff.
This is where Derek has to be a little aggressive. He's got a height mismatch.
Tries to feed Lee. Turnover. Jenna. That's Rex. Jaron Rex for three. That's New Oxford right there.
Yep.
Force a turnover. Quick three. Transition.
And what we just talked about, 6-4 ball game, is now a 12-4 ball game. Can the Mustangs get a basket to stop the bleeding? Lee and Jenna in there battling inside. There's going to be a foul call in a second.
Jenna with his hand. Another turnover tip. New Oxford out. Rex with another layup. 34 seconds left in the quarter. Coach Wilcox elects not to take the timeout. Slow it down. Try to get one shot here to finish the quarter.
Mustangs desperately need a basket. Stop the bleeding.
Bivens back to Fry. What do you think they'll go with here, Coach? Little ISO, ball screen.
I think it's going to be something with Ogden going to the basket.
Ogden shoots a three.
Nice play by Bivens. Can't finish. And that ends the quarter. 14-4 New Oxford.
The story of that quarter was turnovers for both teams, I think. New Oxford turned the ball over early, but Southwestern looked like trying to enter the ball to the post. Jenna was able to get his hand on some balls, tip it, led to some runouts.
Yeah, Southwestern just didn't capitalize on the early turnovers by the Colonials. The Colonials at the end of the quarter did capitalize. A couple runouts, three off a transition, and it's what we talked about. With about a minute and a half to go, Coach, it was a 4-point game. Now you're looking at a 10-point game. The Mustangs have to do something early in this second quarter to try to claw back into it. They're not going to get it back with one shot. They're not going to get back into the game in 1 minute, but they're going to have to do it one possession at a time.
Only 2 fouls committed in that quarter, one by each team, so there is no foul trouble at this point. Pretty quick quarter. Should be Mustang ball. And we're back. Mustang ball, start second quarter. Huff attacks.
Thank you. Finish. I got to finish it. But that's something he needs to start to do. Great take by Ogden to the 10. To the 10. They've got to start going to the rack. It doesn't look like Colonials want to stop him from getting there. Huff's got a mismatch inside. Dante's strength is going inside, then out. Once they start doing that and making the Colonials respect them, then Fenwick's going to get some more touches and he'll be able to get some threes. He'll be able to get some kickouts to Huff. Players just need to know their strengths.
Ogden at the line, shooting one. He's off. Rebound, Strauss ball. New Oxford sets. Shot by number 24, Groover. Off the rim, rebound, Mustangs.
Here they go. They got a basket, first possession. Now we're in the second possession. Can we claw our way back in? Need another good one. Stop and score, stop and score. Take by Aaron Fry. Not a great shot. Now they get a run out. Miss layup.
That leads to quick things. Those quick shots or turnovers. New Oxford is looking to get out and run. Looks like Coach Bear's okay with that type of play. Another turnover by the Mustangs. Another missed layup. Followed by number 11. Strauss ball with 2.
And we only had 2 guys coming back there. Everybody's got to run back. Ogden affected the initial shot, tried to get the rebound, but New Oxford had 3 or 4 guys coming back. Southwestern only had 1.
Garrett attacks right. He's off on his floater. Rebound to Oxford. Off they go.
I was shut down.
I'm a little surprised New Oxford isn't settling for more threes. They're doing a nice job. Of course, Southwestern would expect them to, so they're flying out to block the shots or contest. They're putting the ball on the floor and getting to the rim.
2 substitutes in. Jonah Friel and Archie Jernal. Got a chance to see both of them play over the weekend. Much more defensive lineup in now than offensive lineup. Looks like Coach Wilcox is trying to kickstart this group.
Looking to get Jenna the ball at the rim there. He's fouled. That's New Oxford using an athlete. Get him in near the rim, get him the ball, let him make a play, get fouled.
And they're running solid stuff. All their baseline inbounds have been run really well. Well, I'm not sure if it's run really well or if we're just not doing that great job of defending it.
Jenna's good on the first. He's got one more coming.
Waiting for a high five from his teammate, didn't get it. Gave one to himself. Classic.
Second one's good. All of a sudden, it's 18-6 Mustang or Colonials. I'm sorry. Need a bucket here.
In the worst way. What can we get? Oh.
Brunel for 3 is off. New Oxford comes into the front court.
3 quick shots, I think. The last 3 possessions. Very different than the beginning of the game where they were much more methodical, waiting for a good look.
Almost a steal. New Oxford gathers. Jenna takes on Fenwick. He's fouled on the floor.
And that's a little bit of a mismatch. Jenna's just quicker. Quicker feet. Fenwick needs to stay in front best he can there.
Third team foul on the Mustangs. First on Fenwick. Huff returns, replaces Garrett Wilson.
Need to do a better job of defending the inbounds here. Watch for the rollback.
Looks like Coach Bear's gone to some subs. I think Jenna's the only starter on the floor. Straswell's also out there, who just took the shot and missed. Rebound, Jonah Friel.
Mustang spreading out. Pass and cut. All right.
Another turnover. New Oxford out. Attack. Long foul, attacking the rim. But again, off of a turnover, leads to an easy run out for the Colonials.
Little rough stretch of basketball for the Mustangs. Reminds me of my fantasy football league this year. I had about 3 or 4 weeks where I couldn't get a win. Cost me a trip to the winner's bracket.
You and me both, Coach. You and me both.
That reminds me, a shout out to my wife who I beat in my fantasy football losers bracket this weekend.
Long is good on the second. Here we go. 5:14 left in the second. 19-6. New Oxford. Ogden gets them set. Looks like a 4 high set over to Friel.
Trying to get it into John.
Fenwick gets a touch and he's fouled.
Nice little set, nice little play, executed well. John needs to hit both of these free throws.
Looked like they were trying to draw New Oxford high on the floor to allow that baseline open for Fenwick for the lob. And it worked. John Fenwick shooting 2. A little bit strong on the first. Jenna takes a break.
Chase Knoll comes into the game for the Colonials, number 25. Just to reset it, Tayshawn Golden might be the best name I've ever heard. 25, Chase Knoll. Number 11, Noah Strasbaugh
Fenwick goes 0 for 2 from the line there.
24, Justin Groover on for the Colonials.
Number 3. Misses, they say, hits the wire. That's Tayshawn Golden for you, Coach. Missing the 3 there. That would have been perfect if you would have made it after you just built that up.
That would have been awesome. I would have cheered for that one. Well, it's been about 7 minutes since we saw a basket go through the net for the Mustangs.
Angelo Alacio in for the Mustangs. He tries to enter to Fenwick, who is fouled. That gives the Mustangs the ball on the baseline.
19-6. That's the number of Christmas trees currently up at the Broadbeck house this year.
My wife just texted me wondering where her shout-out is. So here it is. Shout out to my wife, who I didn't play in fantasy football, but I love dearly.
Mustangs need to stop. Oh, that's backcourt.
She just put up a sweet Harry Potter tree in her house, Coach. I mean, sweet.
That's the first time I've heard that description. If the hundreds of people watching tonight have any questions, go ahead and tweet it out to @SW Mustang Media. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Basketball related. Oh, you know what? Social related too. I don't think.
Another turnover. New Oxford runs out. And 2 more. 21-6. Coach Wilcox calls a timeout. So if you're Coach Wilcox at this point, I mean, what are you telling your guys? What's the one focus we got to look at here?
Score. Oh, in all honesty, they need to know that they're in a hole right now. This isn't something that's any different, though, to be perfectly honest with you, than Saturday, though. Saturday, they were down 12-3 after the first quarter, and it did not look like there was a glimmer of hope for the Mustangs. But they clawed their way back into it. 1 stop, 1 score. And that's what they're going to have to do here. The bleeding has not stopped since the first quarter. They need to man up. They need to make a basket and get a stop. Right now, they seem resigned to the fact that they're losing 21-6. Someone needs to be a leader, get a basket, and get a stop.
Here we go. Let's see what Coach Wilcox drew up. Ogden to Bivens. Bivens hands off to Alacio. Rex with the steal. And he's fouled.
Stop if you've heard me before. Another turnover, Coach. Leads to a run out. Killing the Mustangs right now.
Those hands. Just hands in the passing lane again. Rex getting his hands in the passing lane. Nothing easy for the Mustangs. I think that's the key. Nothing's coming easy. Even easy, they're not getting those shots. Rex at the line shooting 2. Right one home.
This is one of those leaders from last year's state qualifying team. Rex and Jenna and Krebs. It looks like Coach Bear is going to keep 1, 2, or 3, at least 3 of them on the court at all times while mixing in some of the youth. Straight man-to-man.
Another passing lane steal for New Oxford. Straw's ball for 2. Off attacks, kicks to Ogden. Ogden crosses up, and he's fouled on the floor. Hand check.
Looks like it'll be their 5th foul. Still not shooting, but somebody willing to attack the rim.
Second foul on Cameron Krebs. Fenwick thought about it, pump faked to Bivens. And that's a play. It looks like Bivens is a young player. Just didn't realize how open he was there. Huff for 3. He's a little strong. And the ball out of bounds to New Oxford.
Not a bad shot, just not falling.
And that's Huff's role in this team. Got a timeout on the floor. 2:15 left until halftime.
25-6 in the Colonials' favor. It doesn't seem like that long ago, Coach, we were talking about it being a 4-point game and how the Mustangs couldn't lose control of it. And I think it's safe to say at this point they've lost control of the game. What they need to do this last 2 minutes is take control back. Are they going to tie it before halftime? Odds are not in their favor. But can they take it from a 19-point game to perhaps a more manageable 13 or 10-point game? Definitely.
Yeah, it's about momentum at this point. You want them going in the locker room.
Yep.
Mustangs come out of the 1-2-2, little
three-quarter court pressure.
Just trying to mix it up. And that leads to an open 3 for New Oxford. Straw's ball for 3. And that happens when you put a little pressure on, you spread them out. That's what's tough about New Oxford. They all can shoot. Another turnover. Another 3 up, and that's off. Bivens gathers. Fenwick playing more on the perimeter at this point. Bivens hustling, another turnover. Here comes New Oxford. Jenna pump fakes, and he's fouled.
Pretty solid Colonial team here. Don't see any individual weakness. Usually you can highlight 1 or 2 kids that you want to attack offensively or a liability on the defensive end, and they just look like a solid team for the 8, 9, 10 kids they brought in.
Yeah, of course you're going to say Jenna and Rex's name more, but that's what you would expect from two veteran players. But we've also seen Strasball and Krebs contribute, and Long.
And anybody that they brought off the bench has played their role really well. And that's what you're looking for from those young kids or anybody coming off the bench. Know your role, do what you're supposed to do. As the kids say in this day and age, stay in your lane.
Which kids are that, Coach?
Some of the popular kids. They told me about it once. I think I saw it in a tweet.
Must be a 7th grade thing. Ogden attacks, and he's fouled. Looks like it might be on the floor. It is. On the floor, so that still puts the Mustangs underneath. 1 foul away from the bonus. Fry returns, replacing Jonah Friel.
And this is where the Mustangs need to be as crisp and clean from the baseline inbounds as the Colonials were at the beginning of the second quarter. Looks like Jenna might have picked up a little knock there.
We're set. Fry to inbound.
Got to give it to him.
Fry attacks, and he's good. Nice little play there. Attacks left, floater right, off the window.
And here's where they need to stop.
50 seconds until half. Little dump off. I'd say that's too easy. Bivens tries to get it to Lee. New Oxford's defense is there.
.26 seconds. Mustangs need to score a basket.
You hold for one here or just get any kind of score.
I'm taking the best shot I got. I don't
Jenna
believe
tips it
that's
away from Huff. Mustangs are able to gather. Huff takes a 3 and he's off. 7 seconds. New Oxford will get one more shot at the buzzer. And it's no good. And that takes us to halftime. 31-8. New Oxford.
The glimmer of hope is back. 3 by Huff. Now we need to stop. Got to get dirty there and get that ball. Loose ball, tipped in the air. We should have 5 guys diving on the floor. 22-point game. And as it so often happens, when you don't get the 50-50 ball, it comes back to bite you.
Justin Groover for 3. That's his first bucket of the game. I'm sorry. Second, first 3 of the game.
Braden Long into the contest. Cameron Krebs steps out. Ogden turns the ball over. Run out for the Colonials.
And when you get a player like Jenna in the open floor like that, that's tough. At the very least, he's going to the line shooting 2.
The deficit is 27, the age of my wife. Nice take by Derek. Gets it back down to 25. Mustangs need to stop.
So this Harry Potter tree has keys with wings on them. I'm not sure what that means, but
Instead of a star, is there one of those little hats that go on the top?
there is. There's a hat and a scarf. It's maroon and yellow.
Is that like Hufflepuff? Is that or Slytherin?
Yeah,
I never read the book.
Grindeldor or something. I don't know.
I never read the books. I got to be honest.
It's magical, Matt. It's magical. There's usually a marathon on every weekend.
The only thing I'm disappointed about tonight, not necessarily the performance by the Mustangs, is that I'm missing a Hallmark movie.
'Tis the season.
Mustangs have gotten back to being a bit more methodical this quarter. 3 fouls on the visitors already. If they can get to the foul line, slow the game down a bit, stop the clock from just bleeding out.
At this point, you're looking for positives.
Yep.
Frog gets a little trouble off of Jenna's knee, and Mustangs retain. At this point, you're looking for small victories, 1 possession at a time.
There you go. More aggressive. 4th foul. Inching our way closer to that foul line. Hard for kids to get motivated knowing they're down 28. And it doesn't feel like a 28-point game in that when you look at the scoreboard, you see a 41, you see a 13. I think for a high school basketball player, psychologically, that looks and feels like a 35-point difference. And by your silence, I know you agree with me, Coach. It's all our years together on the sidelines.
It's hard to argue with that. Dribbles. Stevens tries to kick. Another turnover. It's those passing lanes. New Oxford is in those passing lanes. Rex dumps off. Jenna. 2 more.
Solid. Attack, jump stop, good bounce pass. On the other end, Mustangs throwing one-handed passes.
Huff pulls for 2, and he's off. Rebound, New Oxford. Here they come.
And that's not a bad shot. I mean, your best offensive players are going to be Derek and John Fenwick, and they've got to be able to take shots like that. Some days it feels like there's a plastic wrap over the rim, and you can't get one to fall in.
Well, when you're down like this, you feel like every shot has to be perfect, and sometimes you just don't let it fly. Rex was fouled on the floor. New Oxford ball out of bounds. That's Groover again.
That looked kind of clean to me, but from our angle, we probably don't see the body.
He's left-handed, so you know that's a strong side. Strong attack. Fouls on Fenwick, his second. Team's second for the half.
Angelo Alacio enters the game. Fenwick gets a break. Mustang's a little smaller now. Looks like they'll probably put Huff inside, or they're going to go to a more open style of offense, pass and cut. Alacio, a nice little shooter, gets his feet set. He can knock one down. Wilson on the side here.
Another turnover. New Oxford tries to get cute with a little lob. Doesn't work out for them.
Coach, you're not a big fan of lobs. I seem to remember a county championship game. Rafe Sanders threw a lob alley-oop off the backboard to Parker Bean in a pretty critical part of the game. And if my memory serves me correct, you were not too pleased.
Did it go in?
The initial shot did not.
Then I was not happy.
Good pull by Bivens. Misses the three. Nice to see him get a little more aggressive on the offensive end. Tough for a freshman to do, I think.
My theory is take the two. If Jonah throws that down, that's cool. But he didn't.
I've always enjoyed the theatrics of the game.
Just got word Mike Duffy's tuning in. If you're out there, Mike, we say hello.
Works for the Philadelphia Union now.
Is that right?
Never thought he'd be working for a...
What do they do?
That's a football club. Football in the European sense. I actually sent Mike a book the other day, Into the Wild. I'm not sure if he's reading it. I hope he is. I think it's a good book, especially at his age. But you know how Mike is. He might have got the Spark Notes and tried to send me something to to convince me that he's been reading it. Mustangs need a stop. Another offensive rebound.
Angela Lossie on the floor. His sister Emily. Shout out to her, McKenna Baker, and Nikki Smith. Studying up for finals. Good for you girls. Go get them. Alacio with the ball. Little brother making his sister proud. Mustang still moving here. Bivens takes it. And that's just a young play to me.
Yep.
Right idea. Better execution. He'll get there.
Full timeout coming for Coach Wilcox.
1:29 left in the third. 44-13.
1:29 left in the quarter. 8:35 Eastern Standard Time on your clocks. Hopefully, my son Hudson is in bed and sleeping. If not, tomorrow morning could be a bit of a rough one. Mustangs coming out with the flex.
Shout out to Coach Worley.
Alacio.
3 ball is good.
It's almost like we said if he gets his feet set, he can knock down a 3. Good for him. Nice execution by the Mustangs on the offensive end. Can they get a stop?
There's your boy Golden.
Yep. Nice block out by Alacio and Ogden. And the Mustangs bring the ball back up the court.
And at this point, you're just hoping for some momentum ending the third quarter. Those hands are active for New Oxford. Alacio ball fake. Tries to get Fenwick off the mark. New Oxford gathers.
Oh, 2 chippies. Gotta have them.
Everything went right except the bucket.
.14 seconds left on the clock here. Still a 28-point game. What do the Colonials have dialed up here? A little dribble handoff.
Tried to get it to Jenna. To no avail. 2 seconds left. Look for the Mustangs to heave something up here. As my wife would say, Hail Mary.
Ooh.
That's the end of 3. 44-16. New Oxford. We'll be back in a minute. Back in action here at the Corral. Start of the fourth quarter. 8 minutes to go. 44-16 New Oxford. Opening night of YAIAA basketball.
Pretty wide open division this year if you're looking for something to research. Northeastern lost a lot last year. York High brings a lot back. They look stacked. They should make a nice little district run, probably a run into the state playoffs.
Fenwick for 3, and he's good. Coach, you mentioned that earlier. He does have the ability to step out and knock that down.
He's a gifted offensive player.
And he's only going to get better.
Yep. Sophomore, still trying to figure out the varsity game, I think. And if that shot goes down in the first quarter, and set a couple of those little rim outs that we had, who knows? That momentum that we talked about early on could be totally different. If you're the Mustangs here, you want to get another great possession. You want to get another positive score. You want to force New Oxford to think about it, maybe take a timeout, or get complacent.
Another turnover for the Mustangs. Run out for New Oxford, and 2 more. That's Braden Long. Matt, my wife just texted. She wants to know if we answered her Twitter question. I don't have a Twitter, so Perhaps you can help me out.
Let's see what I can do. Hey, that looked like old Carolina.
Alacio for 3. No good, but he is fouled shooting. He'll go to the line shooting 3. Chase Nell, a little aggressive. Picks it up. Alacio shooting 3. We also have a Barbie tree.
Did you say Barbie?
Yeah, Barbie.
Okay.
An Irish themed tree. At this point, you're wondering, how many trees do you have in your house? The answer is 5. There's one traditional Christmas tree, like you would expect.
Absolutely.
By a normal family. And then a tree I would call a hodgepodge. Alacio's good. He's on the board. 46-20 Mustangs. New Oxford's still shooting 3s. That's their game. They're off with the rebound. That's Groover. Groover and Long have impressed me tonight, Coach. They've both made a name for themselves.
I think what they give Coach Bear is options coming off the bench. Especially when you play a Division I schedule. It's going to be difficult to do it with 5 guys. You need a good, solid bench, rotation of about 8 or 9. If you're going to challenge to be in that top 3, make the county playoffs, make districts, and then make a run at states. Especially the way the districts are set up now, where you can lose a game and still make the state tournament.
It's definitely early in the season, but what you just said, it looks like New Oxford has that formula. From what I see tonight. Mustang ball. Ogden in charge here. Over to Grindal. Pull up for jumper. Just short. Rebound Alacio and put back.
Nice work by Alacio. He's done a nice job coming off the bench tonight. Positive spark for the Mustangs.
That's 6 points for Angelo. Long a bit short on 3. Here come the Mustangs. Got a chippy out front. That's the 6th. That's the 6th foul or 7th. Looks like the 6th on New Oxford, so just side out. Next one will give the Mustangs shots. Ogden attacks. The lefty's good.
He's done a nice job attacking the rim tonight.
Still fighting.
That's a one.
One too many. Some might even call that traveling.
I think we have our first tweet during a live stream broadcast, Nate, and that comes from your wife, who says, "What was the greatest halftime speech that we've ever witnessed?" I'll let you tackle that one first.
Well, I'm sure she's referring to the Bumblebee speech, but that was not a halftime speech. That was a pregame speech. And we did win that game, so it must have worked. You know, Matt, aerodynamically, a bumblebee shouldn't be able to fly. Did you know that?
I did know that. I've heard the speech, so I'm aware of the reference.
But no one tells the bumblebee that, so it keeps on flying anyway.
Some more positive work from Shiloh Bivens, the freshman. Gets the offensive rebound, comes down, gets the foul, goes to the line. Now they're in the one-on-one for the remaining 4 minutes and 25 seconds of the game.
Perhaps she's referencing your halftime speech when you coached JV basketball and your team only scored 2 points in the first half or the second quarter of a game.
I think I can beat that speech. I was talking to 9th grade coach Rafe Sanders today. They played Red Lion, had a nice 44-24 win for the young Mustangs. And we talked about their JV season against Red Lion when we went into halftime, which I believe at the JV level was 10 minutes, right, Coach? 10? I think it's 10.
Might be 8.
And I was so incensed and angry that the players were back on the court warming up with 8.5 minutes to go. But the best part about that speech is that we were the second team on the court because Red Lion's team was out there before us, which leads me to wonder what that halftime speech was like.
This is when Coach Sanders was a player for you.
Yes, sir.
Wow. How many years ago was that?
It's over a decade, it feels like.
Whew. Here we go. Mustangs still fighting. 48-24. Into Fenwick. Fenwick attacks. He's fouled on the floor. But bonus time. Fenwick should be shooting a one-on-one.
It's nice to see them being a little bit more aggressive, putting the ball on the floor, bouncing it towards the rim. Wish we would have seen a little bit more of this in the first or second quarters. Instead of settling for some of those jumpers and some of the wild shots that we got to see. Of course, when you get to the foul line, got to cash in. It's like going to the roulette table and betting on red. Sometimes not going to cash in. I don't know if that one made sense.
But if you think you're betting on black, sometimes it works out. So, Coach, here we go. About 3 minutes left. If you're Coach Wilcox, what do you, early in the season, one loss, what do you tell your team moving forward?
Well, they've got to continue to play positive basketball. I think they've done a pretty good job of that here in this last quarter. You've seen some positive things from bench guys who might not typically get the time as your normal starters. I think you've seen some nice things out of Alacio. I think you've seen Bivens and Fenwick growing into the game. It's difficult for freshmen and sophomores, I think, in a Division I league that is stacked like York area to get comfortable. And this is where you can get some of that comfort.
Fenwick's good on the second.
But you also need these guys to get some stops. It's a 22-point game. Stop and score, you're into the teens. And while you might not get the win, you want to have something positive to talk about at practice tomorrow because you know the season's a grind. A lot of teaching points here. I think if we had a nickel for every time we said another turnover by the Mustangs, I mean,
we'd have a lot of nickels.
We'd have enough to go get a gallon of milk for sure. I mean, that's something that they're going to need to really address and work on heading into league play because there are no breaks in Division I. You can't have off nights you can't have off nights against Northeastern. You can't have an off night against Central York. You can't have an off night against Dowstown, Red Lion, York.
While we have a minute, shout out and thanks to Mr. Murdell and his media class, Mustang Vision crew, for putting on tonight's performance. We're just the pretty voices behind it all, but they do all the work for you.
They make it easy. Just show up, look good, sound good. They take care of all the fancy tech stuff.
And of course, my favorite videographer, Mr. Tim Conrad, sitting right in front of us, doing his thing. Tim does a great job for the Mustangs and Southwestern. We appreciate him. Let's Connor Jenkins in the game. Lefty finishes.
Fun fact, Connor's dad used to be an assistant coach for the boys team and the girls team here at Southwestern.
Palacio on the leak out, and he's good for 2.
Good look up the court by Bivens.
And Alacio's a quiet 8. Good for him.
Nice rebound by Friel. Off the missed shot by Golden. Lacio, feeling the hot hand.
Feeling it. Why not? Skip pass, open 3 for Nell. A little bit short. Golden the rebound. Nell attacks again, and he misses again. 2 chances for Chase Nell, just short. .147 left. We're just getting up and down the floor at this point. Nell, another. And he's good. You know, when we coach, we always looked at the idea in a varsity game. If you can keep a team around 50 points, you give yourself a chance at winning. And, you know, if you're Coach Wilcox, you tell your team, hey, you know, at this point, you've only given up 54 points. That's not terrible. Of course, the problem is you've only scored 28, and that's obvious. We know that, but I think that's your focus moving forward.
Yeah, the turnovers are a major, major issue. Guard play has to improve in terms of the turnovers. I think you eliminate some of those turnovers and focus on that methodical offense that they had in the first 4 minutes of the basketball game, and you're going to give yourself a better chance of being in ball games in the fourth quarter. But like we talked about, we said it at 8-4. You know, the score was 8-4. We said the Mustangs can't let this get away from them. And the momentum train took a stop in Dangerville, and it's never made its way back.
Jenkins for 3 is off. Fry fighting for it. Bivens comes out with it. Ahead to Alacio, and tipped out of bounds. Mustang ball. Jonah Friel in the game for the Mustangs, number 11. Along with Fenwick and Fry. Alacio tight rips it, but he's fouled.
What book are we reading in English 10 this year, Coach?
Currently, we're about to start To Kill a Mockingbird. Good old classic. Yep. Atticus Finch standing up for what's right. Keystone exams finished up today. So hopefully all our 10th graders did well there.
What are they reading in Mrs. Brodbeck's class?
Good question. Probably how to bedazzle your sweatshirt or something. It's one of those how-to books. How to bedazzle for dummies.
Well, I know it's getting tough in Mrs. Lawhead's business class. They're getting towards taxes. All I know is I just tell Mrs. Lawhead to pay the taxes, and that's all I need to know. I would have failed her class miserably. Does anybody really know what escrow is?
It all works out. It all comes out in the wash.
Game winding down here where the Mustangs get a final shot up. Jonah Friel. Bank's still open. 8 seconds to go.
Knocks around the clock, and that'll do it.
Disappointing result for the Mustangs early in the season, though. Plenty to build on. Still 1-2. Have to get ready because the season doesn't end because of one bad game.
From all of us here at Mustang Vision and Southwestern High School, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back sometime this season. If they allow us.
Make sure that we get more tweets and talking points. If you have any questions for us, let us know. Best wishes. Take care.
As Gary Thorne would say, adieu, adieu.